I got the moves. I got the moves. I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta make the city move. Like, whoa. I make the city move. I got the move.
What did I say, man? What did I say? Back in December of 2017, I made a video talking about how I think the Raptors are overhyped, why they are a regular season team, and can't perform in the playoffs. A lot of you disagreed with me, saying this year would be different. And you were wrong. The Toronto Raptors, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, were just swept by the 4 seed Cavaliers, being carried by LeBron James. Many were expecting for the Raptors to win the series, but the fact they didn't even win one game is astonishing to me and many others. LeBron was simply too much for the Raptors. So, what does this mean for Toronto? What do they need to do to get over the hump? I'm going to be talking about that in today's video. If you are new and enjoy the video, subscribe for more NBA content. But with that being said, let's talk about the Toronto Raptors. I'm going to be completely honest, the Raptors were an absolute disappointment in this series. I mean, let's be honest here, who saw this sweep coming? The only person I know is Skip Bayless, and when he tweeted that out before the series started, people laughed at him and called him stupid. I did not expect this. I was even thinking that the Raptors could maybe even win the series, or at least one game. But no, they were swept. And the main cause for this is DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Looking at DeMar DeRozan's playoff stats, they don't seem that bad at first glance. 23 points a game, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 43% from the field. It's not that bad at all. But you have to look beyond the surface to uncover the truth about these stats, because it's not all it's made out to be. Against the Washington Wizards in round 1, DeRozan was averaging 28 points a game and shooting quite well. These are great stats. I mean, he was averaging 5 more points a game than his regular season average. But what really shocked me is his terrible performances against the Cavs. He averaged 17.2 points in this series and shot poorly in a couple of those games. You may still be saying that DeRozan didn't choke and just had a bad couple of games, but hear me out. In the final 2 games against the Cavs, games 3 and 4, DeMar DeRozan scored 8 points and 13 points, and in one of those games shot 27% from the field. Remember, these games basically decided the series. I don't know what you guys think, but that sounds like a big choke to me. Again, they were the deciding games in the series, and since he played so poorly, they lost the series. But it wasn't only DeMar DeRozan, it was also Kyle Lowry too. These two are supposed to be the stars, but they underperformed so much, bench warmers outshined them. In the elimination game, Game 4, Kyle Lowry scored 5 points and shot 28% from the field and 25% from 3. I'll admit, he played well in the first 3 games, but in an elimination game, you can't play that badly. You just can't. That is a choke. And this is unfortunate to say, but because of these playoffs, I can't call DeRozan a top 10 player. Maybe not even top 15, top 20 maybe. That may be stretching it, but you just can't play that badly. I would even think it's okay to say he's not a top 5 shooting guard. It's unfortunate to say, but it's facts. But with that being said, is it time to make some moves so they can finally get over the LeBron hump? The first thing I'd like to talk about are some trades they could make. There are a few players they should specifically target, but I'd like to talk about some specific types of players they could try and get. The first type would probably be wing and forward defenders. The Cavs exposed and took advantage of this weakness in the playoffs, so they'll need to upgrade that if they want to beat them next year. Also, they need more versatile big men. The Cavs exposed this as well in their playoff series. But who are players the Raptors should specifically target? Well, the Raptors had interest in DeAndre Jordan before the trade deadline, and they'd probably go after him if he opts in. If that trade did happen, then young players such as Jacob Poeltl and Jason Valanciunas would be involved to get the Clippers interested. Another trade they could make would be trading Kyle Lowry, CJ Miles, and Pascal Siakam to the Wolves for Jeff Teague and Andrew Wiggins. That would free Minnesota from the cap-clogging contract it gave to Wiggins, and it would pair Lowry and Jimmy Butler, who became friends during their Olympics experience. But is there anyone the Raptors should try and target during free agency? There are 2 players I think they should aim for in July. Player number 1 is Paul George. We all know George is hitting free agency this summer. There has been rumors about it every day from the off-season last year. And while it probably is unlikely that Paul George goes to Canada to play, there are a lot of benefits from him doing this. For one, he fits really well with the Raptors system and is a player they need to improve and get over the hump. As I said, the Raptors need upgrades on the wing, and Paul George can fit in that role. He'll probably play well with DeRozan, he isn't a ball hog like Westbrook, and the added star power could get the Raptors over the top. Paul George will have a better chance at contending over in Canada compared to any other team, like the Lakers. The only other team that is competing at a high level and could sign PG is Houston. But a reason the Raptors could get him over Houston is competition. The competition in the East is nothing compared to the West, so it would be easier to make a deep playoff run, even an NBA Finals run, if the chemistry is there. The second player the Raptors could try sign is LeBron James. I know it's unlikely, but come on. Everyone wants LeBron on their team. I won't spend too long talking about this, but after the Raptors were swept by LeBron last year, DeRozan said if they had LeBron, they'd be champions. I think it'd just be really cool to see that come together, but I understand it's not very likely. Fun to think about though. But let me just say this before I wrap everything up. The Raptors have everything they basically need, except one thing: a LeBron stopper. No one on the Raptors can stop LeBron, and this is why they've been eliminated by the Cavs and LeBron 3 years running. I don't know how they'll find one, but they need one, because otherwise this team is not making the finals. To summarize, the Raptors are looking for a defensive wing or forward, a more versatile center, Paul George in free agency, but most importantly, a LeBron stopper. I said it in December, I didn't trust this team to go far. I expected the same thing to happen as the last 2 years, and though this year wasn't as bad, they still did choke. So to those saying it was their year this year, things would be different, well, I told you so. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe, but with that being said, I am out.
We didn't have your wife, man, we don't want your bitch. We sippin' on Caro, we sip out the bitch. Don't need no life on my butts on the hit. I got like 3 pinky rings on my fist. Kick a bitch out of my house. Ooh, kick her ass out because she get with me. Me and Block just gave your grandma a brick. Your bitch pussy dirty, it smelling like fish. Ooh, we ain't want none of that hoe. I don't drink water, bitch, I only pour foes. I be getting like 100 bands for the show.